Hello students, in the last session we have studied what is kidney failure and different types of kidney failure. Okay, now we will study what is dialysis and what for this dialysis is done. Okay, when we discussed about the difference between the acute kidney injury and chronic kidney injury, I told you that dialysis is needed for resuming the functions of the kidney. Okay, acute kidney injury में क्या होता है, there is immediate sudden damage to the kidney and kidney resumes its function after some time. Okay, but for few days person is kept on dialysis. Okay, got it? In AKI, wherein in chronic kidney injury is irreversible. So डायलिसिस पे पेशेंट को बहुत ईयर्स तक रखते हैं एंड आफ्टर सम टाइम किडनी का माल फंक्शनिंग इतना बढ़ जाता है कि इट नीड्स रीनल ट्रांसप्लांटेशन, सो दैट किडनी हैज़ टू बी रिप्लेस्ड बाय द न्यू किडनी. ओके, सो डायलिसिस इज फॉर टेम्पररी sorting out the functioning of the kidney. Okay, now we'll see what is exactly dialysis and how it is done. Okay, dialysis is based on the technique of simple diffusion. Okay, simple diffusion means what? Movement of the molecules from its higher concentration to its lower concentration. So simple diffusion के technique के ऊपर वो उसका सब functioning depend है dialyzer का. Okay, so dialysis is done with the help of machine dialyzer. Dialyzer is a artificial kidney. It is a artificial kidney. Artificial kidney क्यों बोला है? Because kidney का main function क्या है? Filtration. So kidney helps in removal of the nitrogenous waste which are quite harmful for our body. Nitrogenous waste such as urea, uric acid, creatinine, uric acid. Okay, so all these nitrogenous waste will be removed by this dialyzer. Okay, so that's why dialyzer is also known as artificial kidney. But remember, kidney का जो hormones है, that is renin and erythropoietin, these hormones cannot be produced by this technique. Okay, so we cannot replace the whole actual kidney by dialyzer. Okay, so dialyzer simply removes the nitrogenous waste and extra electrolytes which are present in the blood. Dialysis is not for resuming the activities of the kidney which are related to hormonal control. Okay, so dialysis works by simple diffusion. Here we will be learning two types of dialysis, hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis. Okay, so hemodialysis में क्या करते हैं? Hemo is a word for blood. So here blood will be passed in the dialyzer. Okay, so this is the dialyzer which I have drawn here. Okay, so dialyzer is having dialysate. Dialysate is the one space, big space in which there is presence of salt solution. Okay, so dialysate is the basically fluid or else you can say salt solution which is isotonic to the blood plasma. So blood में जो components हैं, जो salts रहते हैं, ions रहते हैं, that all will be present in this liquid. Okay, so dialysate which is there, it is the salt solution which is isotonic to blood. Okay, now you can see here this supposing if that person is on dialysis, so if we want to perform dialysis in the person, we have to connect this dialysate through person's arteries. Okay, so here through the radial artery, what is a radial artery is connected to the pump of the dialyzer. Okay, so through the radial artery this blood will enter in the pump and this pump which is there, it is having 0 degree Celsius temperature. Why 0 degrees Celsius temperature? To avoid contamination of the blood coming from the arteries. Okay, so 0 degree Celsius पे रखा जाता है ये pump का temperature, and when the blood gets filled in the pump, this blood will enter in the catheter. This is the tube like structure which is known as catheter. Okay, when the blood enters in the catheter, at one end of the catheter you can see one tube is attached, and through that tube heparin is entering in the catheter. Okay, so in the tube heparin enters in the blood. Okay, so heparin is what? It is the anticoagulant. Heparin क्या है? Anticoagulant. When the blood comes out from the blood capillaries, what will happen? Blood will get coagulated, means blood clot will be formed. But we don't want blood to get clot or else coagulated. So to avoid coagulation, we are adding heparin in the blood. So what has done till now? Radial artery of the patient is connected to the pump. पंप का टेम्परेचर कितना रहता है? 0 डिग्री सेल्सियस. वाई? टू अवॉइड एनी कंटैमिनेशन ऑफ द ब्लड विच इज कलेक्टेड इन द पंप फ्रॉम रेडियल आर्टरी. Okay, then this blood is passed in the catheter. Okay, when the blood enters in the catheter, heparin is introduced from one inlet. Okay, heparin is the anticoagulant. Anticoagulant means against coagulation. It will prevent coagulation of blood. Okay, अगर blood coagulate होगा तो filtration नहीं होगा and blood will not move in the dialyzer. Okay, so for that purpose heparin is added in the blood. Okay, now this blood which is there, it is then entering in the tubular part of the dialyzer, and this tubular part of the dialyzer is known as cellophane. Cellophane. Okay, cellophane is the tubular structure. Okay, and it is lined by semi-permeable membrane. Okay, semi-permeable membrane through which diffusion will occur. Okay, so अभी ये आर्टरी में से जो ब्लड आ रहा है सेलोफैन में, cellophane is what? It is the tube like structure of the hemodialyzer. Okay, got it? And this cellophane is lined by semi-permeable membrane. उसका wall जो रहता है वो semi permeable रहता है, so that whatever excess which is present in the blood will enter through this semi permeable membrane in the dialysate. Okay, dialysate में क्या है? Salt solution which is isotonic to the blood. अभी blood में जो excess है, excess sodium ions, potassium ions, calcium ions, water, then hippuric acid, creatinine, urea, uric acid, that will enter or else diffuse in the dialysate. Okay, so blood में uric acid है तो ये uric acid blood में का किधर आएगा? Through the semi permeable membrane of the cellophane, it will come here in the dialysate. ये dialysate है. So in this space whatever dialysate is there, it will become rich in nitrogenous waste. पहले dialysate में nitrogenous waste नहीं थे, अभी add हो गए. Okay, as blood moves in the cellophane, there will be entry of the excess substances and nitrogenous waste from the blood in the dialysate. Okay, so this is kept for few minutes, and likewise few minutes में जो blood pass होगा यहाँ पे, that everything whatever nitrogenous waste and excess amount of ions, salts which are there, these will diffuse in the dialysate. Now this dialysate has to be removed. Dialysate which is rich in nitrogenous waste has to be removed. Inlet of the dialysate will be done through this region and outlet for removing the dialysate. So after few minutes or hours, this dialysate will be removed. Okay, and fresh dialysate will be introduced in the dialyzer. So it will take 4 to 5 hours for all this process. Got it? And then finally after few hours, this blood which is there, it will be passed in the another pump, and that this pump is kept at normal temperature. Why normal temperature? Because now this blood has to be sent in the patient's body again. So उसका normal temperature होना चाहिए before entering in the blood vessel. So before the blood enters in the blood vessel of the patient, it is passed through the warmer pump. Okay, pump which is kept at नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर. सो ब्लड का जो टेम्परेचर है वो क्या हो जाएगा, नॉर्मल रूम टेम्परेचर पे आ जाएगा. एंड in this pump one more tube is attached, one more outlet is there, and that outlet inlet is there, and that inlet which is there, it is for entry of antiheparin. So antiheparin is introduced or else added in the blood which is collected in the warmer pump. Why antiheparin is added? Here we are adding heparin in the first pump. Why heparin? Because blood has to pass through the cellophane for removal of the nitrogenous waste, right? So blood coagulate नहीं होना चाहिए, इसीलिए heparin डाला था हम लोग ने. Now blood has got filtered in the dialyzer, and again we have to pass this blood in the blood vessel of the patient. So we have to remove the excess heparin which we have added. Okay, so to nullify the effect of the heparin, we should add antiheparin through one of the inlet of warmer pump. Okay, so warmer pump से antiheparin आएगा यहाँ पे, and antiheparin will nullify the effect of heparin. Okay, and whatever blood which is there collected in the warmer pump will then enter in the vein of the patient. Okay, got it? Vein में डाला जाता है. Vein में क्यों? Because through the vein it will enter in the inferior vena cava, and from inferior vena cava it will go towards the heart, and then heart will pump it towards the lungs for purification, and from lungs it will enter in the heart, and from heart it will go towards the kidney. Okay, got it? So it is in this way. So that's why blood has to firstly enter in the vein. So vein से फिर वो वेना कैवा में जाएगा, वेना कैवा से फिर हार्ट में, हार्ट से फिर लंग्स में, लंग्स से फिर हार्ट में, एंड फ्रॉम हार्ट टू ऑल पार्ट्स ऑफ द बॉडी. सो सभी पार्ट्स ऑफ द बॉडी में जो ब्लड जाएगा वो विदाउट नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट रहेगा. सो दैट्स वाई whatever blood which is entering in the dialysate, we are taking from the renal artery, and we are again adding the blood in the vein, because heart के पास जाने के बाद ही सभी organs के पास blood पहुँचता है, because heart is the pumping organ. So all of you understood how is the working of hemodialysis, hemodialyzer. Hemodialyzer, hemo means blood, blood pass हो रहा है ये dialyzer में. Okay, that's why the name given is hemodialyzer, and the process is hemodialysis. Okay, got it? So this is all about very first type of dialysis, that is hemodialysis. Now second type of dialysis is peritoneal dialysis or continuous ambulatory peritoneal dialysis, which is abbreviated as CAPD. Okay, got it? So look at this diagram. I have drawn few parts of the body. Here I have just indicated the abdominal cavity. Okay, so imagine this as the abdominal cavity in which abdominal organs are located. Okay, and this is the peritoneal membrane. Okay, peritoneal membrane is the membrane which is surrounding this abdominal cavity. Okay, serous membrane भी बोल सकते हैं उसको. And this whatever peritoneal cavity which is there, abdominal cavity, in this abdominal cavity dialysate will be added. How dialysate will be added? Through catheter. So this is the catheter through which dialysate will be added in the abdominal cavity. Okay, so dialysate is filled in the dialysate packet, and this dialysate packet is without urea, uric acid and creatinine. We have to remove the nitrogenous waste from the blood. That's why this peritoneal dialysis is done, right? So dialysate without nitrogenous waste and any of the salts which are excess वो नहीं ऐड करते हैं. Whatever salt solution which will be there in the dialysate that is isotonic to the blood. Okay, so this dialysate packet which is there, it is attached to the pump. Okay, so पंप में क्या रहेगा, पंप में से क्या जाएगा, डायलाइसिट जाएगा, बट डायलाइसिट का एंट्री कंट्रोल में रहता है बिकॉज ऑफ द नॉब विच इज अटैच्ड टू द पंप एंड डायलाइसिट पैकेट. Okay, so dialysate packet will regulate the entry of the dialysate in the abdominal cavity. Okay, got it? So once this knob is opened, what will happen? Dialysate which is devoid of the nitrogenous waste will enter in the pump, and from pump it will enter in the abdominal cavity. So it will cross the peritoneal membrane. Okay, got it? And what will happen? Whole cavity will get filled up with dialysate. Okay, and this peritoneal membrane is having innervation of network of blood capillaries. Okay, peritoneal membrane है ये. Then these are the skin and muscles of the abdomen. So skin and muscle is innervated with blood capillaries, right? So whatever blood which is there in the blood capillaries, it will have excess amount of nitrogenous waste, that is urea, uric acid, creatinine, hippuric acid. So all this excess nitrogenous waste has to be removed. So once the dialysate enters in the abdominal cavity, peritoneal membrane के अक्रॉस क्या हो गया, फिर ये ब्लड कैपिलरीज एक साइड है पेरिटोनियल मेम्ब्रेन के एंड एक साइड क्या है, डायलाइसिट है. ओके, सो ब्लड कैपिलरीज में जो ब्लड है उसमें नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट आर देयर. डायलाइसिट इज नॉट हैविंग नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट. So what will happen now? Peritoneal membrane will act as a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane है तो definitely simple diffusion will occur here, and the excess amount of nitrogenous waste and different ions will enter from the blood capillaries in the dialysate which is present in the abdominal cavity. Okay. And thus whatever nitrogenous waste and toxic substances which were there in the blood will enter in the dialysate of the abdominal cavity. Okay, so after 4 to 6 hours what is done? This dialysate is replaced by new dialysate. Okay, तो इसको dialysate को, ये dialysate को रिमूव करना पड़ेगा. सो इट विल बी रिमूव्ड बाय रिवर्स डायलिसिस, बाय सकिंग एक्शन. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई दिस पंप इज देयर. सो दिस पंप विल सक द डायलाइसेट. ओके, एंड वी कैन रिमूव द डायलाइसेट लाइक दैट फ्रॉम हियर by removing this dialysate packet. Okay, and if we want to introduce new dialysate in this abdominal cavity, then we have to attach the dialysate packet to this pump, and then this pump will pump the dialysate in the abdominal cavity. So it will be repeated for a few hours if there is much more increase in the serum creatinine and many other nitrogenous waste content. Okay, got it? So it takes 4 to 5 hours. Got it? So क्या हो रहा है? Thus there is removal of the nitrogenous waste by this type of dialysis, that is peritoneal dialysis. So ये जो तरीका है इसमें क्या किया जाता है, पेरिटोनियल डायलिसिस में एब्डोमिनल कैविटी में डायलाइसिस इज added for removing the nitrogenous waste. So here incision is made over the side of the lower abdominal region. Okay, so to introduce the catheter, incision is made over the skin of the abdominal region in patients. Okay, so that what will happen, this peritoneal dialysis can be done at home also. Okay, so घर पे भी ये किया जा सकता है this type of dialysis. So it will save money, right? So it is cheaper than hemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis. It can be done at home. So hemodialysis घर पे नहीं कर सकते हैं. Got it? So hospitalization is needed for few hours in hemodialysis. Here hospitalization is not needed. Okay, so we'll study the difference between hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis. What is that? First one, hemodialysis is very effective. Peritoneal dialysis is less effective. Why less effective? Because ये जो है जब भी dialysate is introduced in the abdominal cavity, how it is introduced, incision is made in the abdominal region of that patient. Okay, so incision है तो कट तो रहेगा ही हर टाइम बॉडी के ऊपर, एंड थ्रू दैट कट वी आर इंट्रोड्यूसिंग द कैथेटर, सो इन्फेक्शन के चांसेस ज़्यादा हैं, राइट? सो इट्स रिस्की ऑल्सो, इन्फेक्शन ज़्यादा हो सकता है पेशेंट को, दैट्स वाई लेस इफेक्टिव इट इज़. Expensive hemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis is less expensive because घर पे भी किया जा सकता है. Hospitalization is needed for hemodialysis. No hospitalization is required in peritoneal dialysis. Then there are less chances of infection in hemodialysis, wherein there are more chances of infection in peritoneal dialysis because incision has to be made in the abdominal region for introducing the catheter, and catheter permanently remains in that particular region because on regular basis this has to be done. So all of you understood dialysis. In dialysis we have studied two types of dialyzer, hemodialyzer and peritoneal dialyzer. So process को क्या बोलेंगे? Hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis. So that is all about dialysis. Thank you.